Hey everybody, happy Sunday. Okay, this is gonna be such a great Zoom. That's gonna be great. So we're gonna do something a little bit different tonight. Not really different, but we don't have like a learn this. We're gonna learn more through stories. There's just a lot of people that have some really great distinctions that I want them to share with you. Anthony Simmons is at our house. Everybody can say hi to Anthony. He's our friend from Minnesota. He's an awesome promoter. He's driving the girls and me back to Minnesota tomorrow. Why? Because we love our county fair, and I do not miss the fair for anything. And so I'm going back to Minnesota to go to the fair, all ride wristbands for an entire week. Who thinks that sounds fun? Oh my goodness, it's so much fun, you guys. It's so fun. So the girls and I are going to be going to the fair all week, and Anthony's going to be sitting at a keto booth all week. It's going to be so fun. And Steve's staying in Kentucky. So, hey, we're going to go through some stories. You're going to hear a whole bunch of other people's takeaways. And then I want people to understand, oh, that's weird. Somebody's calling the computer. Hold on. That's weird. Mandy has some awesome takeaways. And then I want to make a big distinction on just so the brand new people, because there's a lot of brand new people. If I didn't tell you my name is Stephanie, I'm so sorry. And we're going to talk about the difference between LCD. Tomorrow, you guys are going to be watching your pulse, and you should hear more about the upcoming playbook event, and then our October event called Hacking Better. I'm going to lay out all of that for you. But the first person to share, her name is Jessica, and Jessica is brand new to the community, and she just hit MVP. And I asked her just to simply come on and share what she did. I want people, there's a specific thing that her and I were chatting about, and I'm like, just share your story. Like, how did you hit MVP? Because remember, you can hit MVP now every single month and you get a bonus, right? Like, you get $250 every single month that you hit the MVP multiplier. Whether you've been here for 2 years, whether you just hit it last month, she can hit it again this next month and she'll get another $250. If she hits it her third month, she gets $250, and then she gets a bonus of $750. But I remember talking to Jessica for a while. Like, Jessica, if I remember right, we were in a conversation, so you can unmute yourself. And Jessica, you and I were in a conversation with Chris and Danny for probably, like, if I say a month to help coach you through this, is that exaggerated, or was it just a couple weeks?
No, about a month, yeah.
It was a long time of you asking questions, kind of going, I don't know if I can do this. I have a brand new baby. Like, you were nervous, right?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, so share, everybody. I mean, your month isn't even over. Like, what has this opportunity done for you, and how in the world did you hit MVP when you questioned for 30 days to even do it?
I really had no idea how I did it, really. I mean, it's the reason I did it, the community here, and I have the best mentors, and with you too, connecting with you, but with Danny and Chris Webb here in Lake Havasu, we as much as I want to put in, they want to put in. And I didn't know how much I wanted to put in. I was like, I have 3 boys, a little baby. I can't do this. I'm not going to do this. Like, I want to share this, but so really I just started sharing, and here I am. I'm like, oh, I hit MVP.
Okay, so something that you said, I want people to hear this, especially whether they're brand new or here for a while, is you said they were willing to do as much work as I was willing to do, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people come in here, and I don't know, like, I feel like we had a conversation of, like, how do I know the answers? Like, what do I say when people ask me questions, and what did you do every time somebody asked you a question?
I would connect them with Danny or Chris.
Yeah. I heard your story. You sent over a message the other day, and you're like, I don't know how I did it. I don't know how I hit MVP. And I was like, perfect. I love your story. That's what we want people to do when they get into business, because you wanted to share the product. Why? Like, what has the product done for you?
Got me out of depression and clarity and being able to mom and be a wife again. Yeah.
And absolutely. Think of how many other moms go through that. Like, we go through this, like, just a mom phase, right? Or like, I'm overwhelmed with babiness, and you wanted to share it. I think so oftentimes Like you can look at a mom that's overwhelmed, or you can go, she doesn't have the time to do it. Or we could have let Jessica believe what she thought. Like it legitimately took us a month of like validating, going back. Jessica, how's it going? Hey, we haven't heard from you. How are the ketones doing? Right? Of like adding value to you. Like I think what people need to hear is you didn't join right away. You hold on a second. They have to kick somebody off. Sometimes it's hard when you have to mute. You don't get off right away. So Jessica, I just want people to understand your story, because even coming in, like you drank the product because you needed it, right?
Yeah.
It took you probably a good chunk of time. You knew you wanted to share it, but you didn't know how to do it. You didn't feel like you had the resources, or you even had like the person that could do something like this.
Yes.
And you did it. I mean, how do you feel?
It's amazing. I'm like on fire. My husband was skeptical at first. Like he's like, okay, I'll see it. I'll believe it when I see it. Let's just, go ahead, drink your ketones. I'm not going to drink your Kool-Aid. And then I'm like, okay, I'm going to prove it. Funny, every time I say that, prove it. And so he started seeing a change and getting his wife back, and he's like, okay, so he started drinking them after like 4 weeks of me being on them. And now he's on them, and he's seeing a difference in him. And he just saw my bank account. Like I just, and now it's real for him. He's like, okay, all right, I'm proud of you. Like, let's keep doing this. So it took him a long time to even.
Yeah.
So it's awesome.
Okay.
Super excited.
Last question, Jessica. I mean, do you have like 6,000 friends that you're reaching out to, or who are the people that you talk to first?
My closest, actually, a lot of people, I know them close. So friends,
yeah,
family, and all the moms I know. I know a lot of moms and stay-at-home moms, or and I'm like, you need this, just try it. And,
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, thank you, Jessica. Anything else you want to share about your journey so far?
Just trust your mentors and lean on them if you ever need anything. They will get you where you want to go. So
I love it. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah. Thank you, Steph.
Oh, you're so welcome. Here's the deal. Like, we need to be sharing other people's stories. And I just heard Jessica's story, and Danny hit me the other day, and she's like, she's doing so good. And I loved it because it wasn't like oh, she came in after the first time that Danny thought, you could do this, Jessica, right? She didn't believe in herself. Danny and Chris had to go back and add value, and she had to go back and like all Jessica had to do was lean on Chris and Danny, right? Like, we just need to be making sure we're telling everybody when they come in and join us, or you just need to know that whoever you're working with, and it doesn't have to be just one person. You may find somebody else, I hate using the whole above and below, but somebody else, within the team going, we really connect, we should work more together, or can I use you as a connection tool, right? And so don't be afraid to ask. Don't be the expert. We have to be sharing stories like this, because I think it's super inspirational for a mom to go, and her husband to go, I got my wife back, and let's keep doing this, and I feel better. So I love the story. I'm going to kick it over to Mandy. If you're on, you've got some stuff to share and other people to share their stories.
Yes, I do. Two of the three people have some prior engagement. So we're going to be a little bit flexible here. We're going to have some EQ and all that good stuff. But before I really get started, here's what I want to know. I know we just heard about this brand new promoter, Jessica. She just hit MVP. Stephanie mentioned the MVP multiplier. I want to see in the chats, like, who's going for the MVP multiplier. Now, I don't care if you have 0 new volume, or if you are like Brittany Nelson, who already crushed the MVP multiplier this month. Insane. She did it yesterday. I just want to know who's going for it. Who's going for it? Who's going for it? Who's going for it? And here's why I'm asking. Because we have this like accountability group in our team where everybody who's going for it is in a little group, and we're cheering each other on, and we're sharing ideas, and we're celebrating each other's wins, and we're checking in with each other. I like a little friendly competition. But what I notice, and I've reminded everybody about this before, so I'm going to say it again. What I notice is that every once in a while we get so far in and people start winning, and people start going like, oh, I'm so close, or, oh, I hit it, or, oh, and then we have people whose brains will go like this. Ugh, I'm nowhere near that close. I must not be good at this. I probably can't do this. Oh, this is so frustrating. So I'm just checking in with everybody's mental game, and I want us to do a little, like, I don't care what you have to do. Do you have to stick something in your ear? Do you have to spin it around? I don't know what you have to do to your brain, but whether, Amy said, can we review the exact volume? Yes, we can see how much time we have at the end, and we can go over it real quick, but it's tracking it for you in your back office, so it's back there. But I just want y'all to get your minds right, okay? Like, Brittany Nelson hit it, and I love her, and she's probably on here, but I'm going to tell you a little secret about Brittany Nelson. She's not any more special than any of you, right? Like, we're all capable of it. If one person can do it, everyone can do it. And quite frankly, I'm not close, right? I'm not close yet. I'm still in a million conversations. I'm still working with people. I'm still following up with all of my 5 and 10 days, and like, having that conversation. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? So if any of you are already in your head going, I can't do it. Well, I mean, then I can't do it. Right. So like, I just want us all to be like, we're all going to hit it. We're all going to work for it. And here's the deal. Even if I don't hit it, even if I don't get that 250 bonus, like, I'm better off in my business because I'm working really hard to hit it, right? Like, I'm better off because I'm fighting for that than if I weren't fighting for it at all. So don't write yourself off. It is challenging. It is a lot of volume, and it's set up that way on purpose because our company knows exactly what it is you need to do to be successful, and the action steps that you're going to take to try to hit this are what's going to be what makes you successful in your business. So I just wanted to know that's not even what I was supposed to talk about, but I just wanted to know who was going for it. Okay, next thing, since we're on that, Stephanie, I think now I'm just in ramble mode. Everybody just type something really, really quick in the comments, like something amazing that happened this last week because you're going for it. I want to know. And now I'm getting sweaty because when I get all fired up about stuff, I get super warm. I still don't see any exciting things that happened because you're going for it. Met a mom at the pool, sold 6 reboots. I got a new promoter. I had a huge new volume customer, a new promoter with a promoter pack. I have a long-time customer who converted to promoter. That's my exciting thing, and she's local to me, and I'm so super pumped, and she might even be on this Zoom right now. I didn't check to see. She was going to try and get on. She literally just joined. So I have a lot of good stuff happening because I'm working towards this. 100 packets and experience packs this week. That's awesome. Someone decided to ask a salon owner about the biz. Amy did that. So see, that's really cool. Okay, next thing I'm going to ask you, what are you manifesting for yourself for next week? Like, what are you deciding to do between now and our next team Zoom? What are you deciding to do right now? Like, put it out there so we can hold you accountable. What are you deciding to do? 2 new volumes from the trials, a new promoter with experience pack, sharing Facebook Lives, convert 10 customers to boxes. Somebody's already done their Sunday live, talking to 100 new people every week, 2 new customers. Okay, I love it, I love it, I love it. I just wanted to make sure that everybody was working towards it, okay, and not to put it in their head that you can't do it because you can't. Okay, that's not what I was supposed to talk about, but that's what I'm talking about. So I'm in charge of 2 topics or 3 things, actually. I think I'm in charge of 3 things tonight. So the first thing I'm going to talk about, I think because we already started chatting about like what we've been doing and what we are going to do to hit this MVP multiplier, I want to give you guys a lesson that I learned today. Ashley, Brandon, and who I think is on the Zoom, and Jack and I went to, I don't know if you knew this, but Lululemon does workouts at the Lululemon store. Didn't know it, had no interest ever in going, but my favorite Orange Theory coach was teaching the class at Lululemon. So Ashley asked me to go. I was like, yes, my favorite coach is going. I'll go. It was supposed to be yoga, so I thought it was going to be easy. It was not. It was a high-intensity interval training class, and I was sweating and gross when I was done. And I ended up spending like $900 at Lululemon, so it really turned out to be the most terrible workout ever because it was like I paid somebody a mortgage to work out. It was terrible, but I did get cute new stuff. Anyway, this is very important. This is where the lesson comes in. I have relationships with all of those people. Jack and I, all the people that work there, like Jack and I have sampled ketones to them. The coaches at Orange Theory that were there, we've sampled ketones to them. We follow up. We're really good follow-uppers. But one of the girls asked me for a sample, like, I don't know, 3 months ago. Gave her a sample, and the next time I saw her, she was like, oh, I loved Blue Ocean. And I was like, okay, cool. You know what? I'm so excited for you. As soon as I get home, I'm going to give you a little coupon code. So today, when I saw her, I realized I never did that. And you know what she said to me? Oh, it's okay. I met a girl at my spin class, and she sells it too, so I got it from her. I did the reboot last month. It's amazing. Oh my God, I'm so happy for you. That's great. We're so happy that you're having this incredible experience. Oh, and here's the best part. The person who sold it to her isn't on our team, but knows who we are and had nothing but nice things to say about us, but didn't say, oh, you should go back and work with me. For sure, get some from them. Now, this is not against that other person. I'm not mad at that other person. That person's awesome because they took advantage of the opportunity and spoke to somebody and got them the product and got them signed up and got them onto the reboot, right? I'm frustrated with myself because in my head, I just assumed she wasn't super serious and, oh, well, I forgot about it. I'll see her soon. And then I did really forget about it. So follow up, follow up, follow up, follow up. Do not assume that the people Jack Mitchell, you're in the other room. Did you feel me want to go, I hate myself right now. What's happening? Anyway, she was like, but I'll still take a coupon code. And I was like, oh, your girl can get you one. Don't worry. So I didn't give her one. But I just wanted to that was my big, my personal takeaway from today, for my business is just a reminder to follow up, follow up, follow up. So had I followed up, she would have been new volume for me. Had I followed up, she would have been a part of me reaching the MVP multiplier, and I'd get to be a part of her journey. Now someone else gets to be a part of it. That's terrible. I don't want someone else to. I want to do it. So just a good reminder to keep following up, following up, following up. And then my other topic is consistency, and then my other topic is getting around the fire. So I'm going to try and be really fast because it's Sunday night and I'm a fast talker and y'all probably want to get on with your life. But let's talk about consistency really quick. Ashley Brandon, you're going to hear from her, so that's why I keep saying her name because she's in my head all the time lately. You're going to hear from her in a little bit. She and I got together and did a Zoom with her team, and someone brought up a really good question. Abby, who's maybe on here, had a really important, powerful question. Okay, how many of you guys, I want to see a show of hands, School Teacher Mandy's coming out. Show of hands, how many of you have heard us say, especially if you've been here longer than 5 minutes, that consistency is key? Okay, that's consistency, 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 consistency. How many of you have heard us talk about the 1,000,001 different ways to grow your business? We give 1,000,000 different examples. Raise your hand if you've ever felt overwhelmed, what thing should I actually do? Oh, Brittany, see Brittany Bradshaw. Brittany Bradshaw's hand went like this right to the camera. She and I have actually talked about this before. So I knew her hand would go up, right? And it made me kind of step back and realize, we talk about all these things and we talk about consistency, and Abby said, okay, but consistent with what? What am I supposed to be consistent at? And I just want to challenge you guys to look at it this way. This may or may not be what works for you, but it made me really recognize that when we're talking about specific income generating activities for your business, whether they're short-term, right now, today income generating activities, or they're things that you're doing to build your network so you grow income later, like, don't stress about the 1,000,001 things, right? Like, you hear Stephanie talk about incredible things that she does every single day. You probably follow her on social media and see her lives and her recipes and her videos. And I could get overwhelmed. She's so consistent with those things. I'm not at a place yet in my business or in my personal life where I feel like that's something I could be consistent with, doing live recipes every single day. And I can't wait until I have the epiphany that I actually do have the ability to do that. But right now it's not where I am, right? Then I go to these incredible playbook events that you're going to hear about in a little bit, and I fill a notebook, right? Even if it's with things I already know you can do to grow a business, I get so excited hearing about them. I fill the notebook and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to do all of these things. I will watch some of my best friends in the business do really incredible things. Go, I'm going to add that to my list. Oh yeah, I heard that. That was a great idea. I'm going to add that. Don't let that big list be something that overwhelms you and think that you have to be consistent with all of those things. I want you to just be consistent with something. Like, it's not about how many things you do. It's about how consistent you can be with something. So me personally, so that I don't get super overwhelmed, I divide my potential growth in business into 3 specific sections. Yes, like Jack Mitchell, playbook takeaway, pick one thing. It's not about all the things, it's about one thing. But for me personally, I've got big dreams and goals. So my one thing is that I pick 3 things. And I literally just divide my business into 3 categories, right? It's the people that are already involved or have been involved at some level. So people who are currently drinking or who have drank ketones in the past. The second category of people is the people who have expressed interest but haven't committed. So, you know, those people that raise their hand every time you ask if they want to win the free 20-pack on Friday, right? The people that raise their hand every time you say, who still hasn't tried ketones? The people who show up at every single Keto Life party but never place an order, those people. Okay, so that's my second category. And then my third category of people are the people I haven't even met yet, right? The people I haven't connected to or spoken to about ketones at all. So like, that's really what I'm focused on. So I pick one thing that's going to help me build relationships with the people who are already inside my business. One thing. I could give you a list of 40 different ideas, but I just want you to pick one thing. Is it, I'm going to follow up with 5 people every day who are already in my back office? Is it, I'm going to follow up with 1 person every day that's already in my back office? I don't care what the number is, but pick something and do it every day for the next 365 days. Okay? Oh, here's how I'm going to connect with the people who haven't yet committed yet. I personally think the Freebie Fridays that Prove It does, the Watch the Keto 101 video, and you could win a free 20-pack is like the most incredible thing I've ever experienced in my entire life. And so that's my, like, that could be your consistent thing. Every Friday for the next 52 Fridays, you are going to post about that. You are going to invite people who wants to win a free 20-pack of Keto-OS. You're going to let everybody comment. You're going to send them the directions. And that's your consistent thing, right? For that category. Third category for me is growing my network. So for me right now, what I'm consistent with every single day is I have a couple of Facebook groups that I'm working in, have nothing to do with ketones or ketosis, but do have to do with other things I enjoy in my life. And I post and interact in those 2 groups every single day. That's all I do. Yesterday I posted in my Peloton group about the belt that you can wear around your waist that makes you sweat. It's like a waist trimmer. Y'all, people have opinions about that. Some of them are not nice. But I got 26 new Facebook friends out of that post. 26 new Facebook friends who immediately started liking my pictures, saying what a cute family. Like, those are people I'm going to get to talk to later. It takes 5 minutes to make a post in a page, and then 5 minutes later at night to go back and interact with people, right? So it's not a big deal, but it's just what I'm consistent at. That's it. Those are my 3 things. And if I find that I have time or energy or effort, or like I can't fall asleep, or I'm up real early, or we're driving around to go somewhere and I'm like, on my phone, then I'll throw in one of the umpteen other things that I've seen that I love that's a great idea. But I'm just asking you to pick something and be consistent. Don't get overwhelmed with the big list. And it doesn't have to be those 3 things, which is why I'm not spending a whole lot of time like explaining what those things are, but just pick something. Take some time and like look at your business, look at what you do that typically gets some great interaction, and just be consistent with it. Or if you're feeling like the things that you don't do aren't getting great interaction, find something that you think might and just be consistent with it. Listen, I'm going to do a live video every single week for the next 52 weeks. And then do it. It's just about being consistent. Like, so don't get overwhelmed. And I just thought that was a really profound question that Abby had, where she was just like, I understand I need to be consistent, and we have this giant list. Like, what am I supposed to be consistent with? Whatever works for you. Does that make sense? Yes? No? Okay. And so I always say, like, I have this list of 50 things, and I do, but I'm consistent with just 3 things, like 1 in each category. Okay? Yes. Okay. Next topic. I'm just gonna keep going, and then you can do the events. I'm just on a roll, and I'm drenched in sweat.
No, it's fine. These aren't meant to be professional. Like, you had some stuff you wanted to share. I love that. The biggest thing I want people to know is you and I were chatting and going, some people step back and go, I'm doing consistently the work, and then you're like, what are you doing? And they don't quite know. So it's just being able, like what Danny, I'm looking at Danny. What Mandy said is like, make sure that you know the consistent things, not just like, everybody says be consistent, so I'm going to consistently build my business, but they don't actually have the consistent piece down. So like, pick the 1 or 2 things, so that's it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, touch your business every day in some way, shape, or form, but pick something you can really like wrap your arms around, like something you can really grab a hold of and say, this is something I can commit to, right? Like, this is something I can commit to. My other big thing that I wanted to talk about, and like, seriously, 2 of the 3 people I can't even get a hold of, so they must have something crazy going on, because they're on every single thing. So I didn't think I had to say anything to them. I've never seen them miss a champ Zoom, or a team Zoom. So I'm like, whatever. But I just wanted to talk to you guys. I know, Jamie is on. Oh, good. Yay. One of the other things Stephanie and I were really wanting to talk about with you guys too is just like finding ways, and this is going to come in really handy too as we talk about these events that you can get to, but just finding ways to be connected to people who are on the same mission as you, and finding ways to get like up close and personal to like the fire, right? Like, if you're out camping for the weekend and you're chilly, like, you get closer to the fire, right? And then when the bottom of your feet feels like, holy crap, my shoes are going to catch on fire, you might move back a little bit, right? But you're like working to try and spend time with people who are on the same mission as you and have a little bit of fire. So Jamie got an opportunity. I know we were supposed to have her chat last week but then Brian took up the whole thing, and it was amazing. And I don't know about any of you, but I'm still fired up from that if you got to be on with that one. But Jamie got to go visit and spend some time in Kentucky. And I just wanted to have her share with you guys like her biggest takeaway. So she might not even know what I was going to ask her to do. But Jamie, if you're on and you could just unmute and just share your biggest takeaway from that experience. Maybe? Jamie?
Hey, can you hear me?
There you are. I was
Hey,
about to do the Bueller thing. So just real quick, like 5-sentence, 2-minute, 3-minute, like
Yes.
what was that like? I love getting to spend time with Brian, but I don't get to do it very often. So tell us all the things. What did you really like take away from that experience?
It was amazing, obviously, to sit with him. I think we had about 4.5, 5 hours total with him at headquarters, and Stephanie and Jessica Craig and I and Leah were all there, and then some other ladies came in later. but the energy was just off the charts. I mean, it's like being like in an event, but even bigger, you know, because you really plug in. And one of my huge takeaways was that the information that we get on these Zooms when we're talking to each other is what we need to grow our business, but we need to hear it more than once. And so sometimes Brian would say something and it resonated and I knew I'd heard it before, but it like really hadn't clicked, you know? And so the plugging in and hearing it more than once, and it's just kind of like anything in life. Sometimes you're at a different place in your business. So maybe it doesn't sit with you the first time, but the next time maybe you're at a different place in your business and it does resonate. And then it's like something that just kind of flips the switch. And the other big thing was he has this ability just to ask you a question and get you to answer your own questions, you know, which is super cool. And so, but you realize that you have the knowledge to work through the plateaus, the trouble spots, you know, the things that are like in your mind you feel as a holdup. And once he pushes you and asks the questions, you know, you figure it out for yourself. So the information was already there. He didn't give it to you. It's just a matter of plugging in. But I think that's where being connected to people that are our mentors and with us is pivotal because you get to do that to us and ask us questions, and same thing, which just we can figure out the answer ourselves, but we have to maybe look at it differently.
Well, and I
so
love
those were
that.
some of my big ones.
I love that. And I actually love that right below you is Leslie. And like, I watched her smile because I've had that same conversation with Leslie. She's like, I saw her like, oh, Mandy, I know where you learned that, because Brian taught that to me. And what's been really cool is that I've been able to use that in our business as we're coaching other people. Like as you grow this and you start to have relationships with customers and you start to have relationships with the people inside of your team and you're trying to help them grow, sometimes you feel like, oh, I have to find the answer for them. They're asking me this question and it's on me to help them find the answer. And I have to remember that moment with Brian quite frequently and go, okay, this person probably already has the answer. They're just hoping I have some magical one that's easier. Yeah. Or they're hoping I'll say it so they don't have to, right? But we all do know, really, like, you know, we really do know. And if we don't know, then that becomes very obvious in those moments, and your mentor will know, your coach will know what you need support with. But a lot of times we really do, especially if we stay plugged in. We do have the answer. We do know what we need to do to move our business to the next level, right? So I love that. And that made me kind of excited that I saw someone else go, oh, Mandy's pulled that on me. I heard that one before. I love that. Well, I'm so glad you got to go. I'm super jealous, and I plan on being there the next time we get a group to go. So I'm glad you got to go. Thank you for hopping on and sharing. And then I just want to say one more thing too. Like, it doesn't mean in order to get near the fire, you have to like go to be in Kentucky with Brian, right? That's not what that means. You can find other ways to be close to the fire. And this is going to be a little bit weird of an example. Ashley, Brandon, hopefully you were able to get on. I think you said you were, so I just haven't scrolled through to look at everybody yet. But I'm going to have you unmute too. It's a little bit weird example. It also doesn't mean you need to move across the country. This is completely circumstantial. But Ashley's husband got a job literally right up the road from where I live. Like right up the road. And she used to live in South Carolina, and then she lived in Arkansas, and now she lives here in Oregon. And so we've been able to spend a lot of time together, which isn't something I get to do where I live. Like, Jack and I have a really big business, but we don't have a big business where we live. Very few people. When I have a Keto Life party, like one person that's a promoter will come. And sometimes they're a promoter that's not even on our team. So like, that's our business. That's just how our business is rolling right now. It's not going to be that way forever, but that's the way it is right now. We just don't have a large local team. So I kind of wanted to have Ashley come on and share how it's been to be hanging out with me. And then I kind of want to share actually the opposite insight, what it's like to be hanging out with Ashley. So Ashley, can you hop on real quick?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Hi, I can see you. It's nice to see that you showered. We worked out together this morning. She was super gross.
And I pulled my dang neck, so I've been miserable all day. That's what I get, though, for tricking you into a high intensity class. So it's just kind of crazy how it happened that I ended up here. And when my husband told me where the job was, I was like, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Like, Mandy Mitchell's there, and I'm going to stalk her and like live at her house, and she's going to hate me, and I don't care. Like, I'm just going to show up. So that's exactly what I've been doing, is just showing up or inviting her places, or saying, hey, I'm going to do this, or hey, can we do this? And I've just literally been using her for everything I possibly can. And it is amazing. It's been absolutely amazing. Not just Mandy, but Jack too, because I love that both of them are so involved in this business and so good, and they both have their strengths. So not only has it been amazing for me to work with Mandy, but my husband being around Jack Mitchell has been really amazing as well. So I thought I was fired up. Like, I thought I've got a lot of fire about my business. Like, I love this company, and I do. I love our company. Like, it makes me happy. But when you get around other people who have that same passion, and really even more than you, it just raises yours to the next level. So I have been just on a whole, I don't want to say like winning streak, like I just have been pushing harder than ever, because I just feel that fire again. And that's a lot like going to our events, getting around other provers is so, so powerful. We feel that fire, we leave, and we're like, whoa, let's go. So that is a huge part of this business. Is we're not meant, first of all, to be alone and do things alone. Second of all, we're not meant to do this business alone. Like, we tell you over and over again to use your, like she was saying, I can't remember her name, but she was
Jessica.
Jessica. Yeah, Jessica. Like Jessica said that she hit MVP, and she leaned on Chris and Danny, and she leaned on Stephanie. Like, that's our business, is to embrace each other and use each other and work together to just make your business not only amazing, but to also just be excited again, or just be excited in general. And so it's just been amazing, and bouncing ideas off of her, and literally just sitting down and having dinner and talking for 3 hours about the business. Like, my mind went idea after idea after idea to it just pumped me up. And so it's just been really amazing. And I just encourage anybody and everybody, if you can get around other provers, do it any way you possibly can, because it's going to just light your heart on fire. You're going to leave there with this biggest smile on your face. And if you don't have people local, if you don't feel like you can travel, guys, build a team local. Like, that's exactly what I did back in South Carolina. Now they're working all together, but I wanted that community, so I went out and found it and made it and helped cultivate it. And now we have this amazing community in South Carolina, and so they all get to do everything together. They get to do team dinners. They get to do all these amazing things, and that solidifies your business. It just does. That's stickiness. So I'm excited about it, and I'm gonna halfway live at Mandy's house, and I am not ashamed to say it. So, but it's been amazing.
And it's been great for me too, just so you guys know. Like, did you hear what I said at the beginning? Like, I don't have a large local team here yet. Listen, Ashley is pushing me. Like, Ashley's pushing me to get out of my comfort zone. Ashley's pushing me to we have a table on Wednesday at an Orange Theory. Like, I'm going to be real with y'all. I don't even like those things, but Ashley wants to do it. So that's what we're doing, right? Like, she's like, oh, we're going to have a massive local team. Oh, I'm going to join this church. I'm going to go check out this church. I'm going to find new people. I've already got a mixer plant. Like, I was like, damn, this girl's going to get all the people that live by me. And I've lived here for 20 years. So she's pushing me to get out of my comfort zone. And I think that's what's really cool about, if you can get around other people, get around them, because you will challenge each other. That's number one. And number two, if you don't live by your team, if you don't live by your mentor, this is something I want you to understand. You can create your own energy. You can create your own momentum. You can create your own excitement. And even though we're telling you and encouraging you to do it, you are capable. Like, you don't actually you don't actually need someone to create energy inside of you. You can create it yourself and attract people to you. I'm just saying, if you have the opportunity to be with other people, take it, because it will just make that fire take it to the next level. So say yes if you get asked to go do those kinds of things. Say yes if you have that opportunity, and say yes to these events. And Stephanie is going to tell you about all of them. And if you can get to all of them, get to all of them for this exact reason.
I loved it. You want to know what that made me think of is, yes, you're right, Mandy. Like, if you don't have somebody local right now, it made me go, sometimes we think that we have to have this big, massive team, right? If you have one person, so like Mandy talks a lot about on these Zooms, like find an accountability partner. So if you don't have anybody local, like message somebody every day and going, hey, what'd you do today? Who'd you talk to in person? Or what I would be thinking, what I have been thinking about living here in Louisville, I keep going, I'm going to build a local team. I'm working on building a local team. I will find those people that want to build with me. Doesn't mean I have yet. Doesn't mean that I have not had a lot of conversations, but I would be walking around your town going, who do I know that I want to have this conversation with? Who do I know that I need to just go, I want you on my team. Like, you would be amazing. I would love to have you as a promoter. Like, we could dominate the city. What if you just went up to somebody that's already loving ketones and going, do this with me? What are they going to say? No? Okay. I mean, there's a girl, and real quick, and we'll dive into I met a girl at the pool a couple days ago. She's very pregnant, almost about to have her baby in a couple weeks. And all I said to her, I said, you're adorable. Like, you're so cute. And she walked right over to me and she was like, I'm so tired. And she just wanted to talk, and I encouraged her. And somehow we got in the conversation about what I do and ketones. And she was like, oh, my husband's looking for an opportunity like that. And I was like, oh, really? She goes, he's been looking at these other companies. He's not sure what he's going to do. He's transitioning into something else. And I said, I came really blunt, and I said, you tell him not to join anything until he tries ketones, and I'll be over to your house with ketones this afternoon. And she was like, okay. She connected me with him. We've been chatting. I had him in front of Brian the next day, and he hasn't joined yet. I'm just saying, like, you don't know where a conversation will lead. At the grocery store, in the pool, at the park, you just don't know. And like, you never judge somebody. When I was talking to her, she was so overwhelmed that I was like, there's no way I'm bringing up ketones to her, because she's very pregnant and very, like, exhaustedly. I'll have that conversation. We were connected, but it wasn't the right time until I was like, oh, it's not her, it's her husband. So anyways, I love that. And so when Mandy said get around the fire, just so everybody's very, very, very well aware, September is packed, and October with events that you can come and learn. So number one, if you have seen anything about LCD, I just want to make sure everybody understands that there's a lot of new people. LCD is a training that's going to be in Dallas, and it's for rank 6s and above. So don't be sad if you can't go yet, but it is a higher level, higher leadership training. So it's really like, you're going to learn about how to be a better coach and a better leader, and things like awareness. And you're going to learn about language, and you're going to learn about something called EQ and AQ. Like, it's pretty intense, and there's only about 120 people that can go. And so if you want to go, if you've ever once in your life during these Zooms, or, you know, been around perfect people going, I want to speak, I want to lead, I want to teach, right? Like, this is your next step. This is what you need to be doing. Like, if you want to be a trainer on the stage, or if you, whatever that is, like, let's get you to LCD. So that's what LCD is for. Make sure you're watching your pulse, because hopefully tomorrow or very soon you will be seeing more information about another playbook coming up. And as long as they have all of the hotels figured out, Brian's talked about it. It should be on September 14th. It's going to be in 4 locations. I'm not going to say the locations exactly. I think I know, but we're just making sure all the hotels are ready. And so there'll be one very close to where most people can drive to, right? And so the point of the playbook is this. It's for everybody. If you have not gone to one, if you have gone to one, especially brand new people, or you've been here for a long time, the 1-day training playbook event is for you to go and learn how to build a business. Social media, keto life parties, how do you launch a promoter? How do I have conversations? It's all of the things that we will teach you for you to go home. Take that one thing to be consistent in, but you've got all these tools. Like, you hear us teaching about them. You'll see Zooms and Facebook Lives, but it's a jam-packed, you want to know how to build this business? This is what you come to. September 4th, 14th, put it in your calendar, watch the Prove It Pulse app, and we'll get you the locations very soon. Lastly, the event in October is called Hacking Better. It's 2 days. It's at the end of October. Somebody put the dates in the chat. I can't remember if it's the 26th or 27th or 28th. It's that weekend. But that is kind of like a Keto Academy and more put together. If you're brand new, it's going to be a little bit of science. So you're going to hear from doctors and experts. It's going to be self-development. It's going to be really cool. We've got somebody called David Goggins who's coming to speak. But it's also like we've done aero breaks before. We've done board breaks before. This might be something that you've never done before. I think I was in the office at a time that I shouldn't have been. And so I'm just going to let you know if you miss Hacking Better, you're going to regret it. Lastly, and then also at Hacking Better, we'll learn a little bit more about how to build the business too. So it is phenomenal. It is in Louisville. That we can help people team up and figure out how to get here, drive, do whatever you need, slam people in a van and get here. It's going to be great. Okay, so watch your pulse. It's going to be a great week. It's going to be find your accountability partner. Go find somebody in the community that wants to build with you, because there are lots of people that need an opportunity, like Jessica, who you heard from earlier, that needed the product to get her out of her and now she's got something else. She loves being a mommy, because I know she does, and she's found something else that she gets to do, and she loves it. It's going to help provide for her family. So I appreciate you all. Have a great night. We will let you go, and we will see you later. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Thank you.